This time we are joined by the representatives from UL Lafayette Ragin' Cajuns. They are the third seed in the tournament. We're joined by head coach Gary Broadhead, as well as number 25, Silvana Oakty, and number 32, Simone Fields. This time we'll ask Coach Broadhead to make a brief opening statement.
Well, I guess first half wasn't exciting first half. It looked like we were sluggish and a step slow, both offensively and defensively. And, went in at halftime, and, it's kind of kids we have. They resilient, and they last 3 minutes of the game is how we wanted to play the whole game. And, for us to be able to come out with a win, we went down by 6 at one time, and I guess with about 3 or 4 minutes left. But I'm excited for the kids. Our girls work so hard, and it was good to get a win after those last 4 or 5 minutes of playing hard. And I thought UTA did a great job. We wasn't prepared for them and what they did today. With more guards and moving the ball, and it were a little bit more harder. It was more difficult to guard them. But again, our kids are resilient. They did a great job.
This time we'll open up to questions for the student athletes only. And please wait for a microphone and identify yourself by name and media outlet. Right here in the front.
Luke Johnson, Acadian Advocate. Savannah, those late three-pointers, did you feel like the team kind of picked things up after you hit those and said, like, okay, it's time, we can do this now?
I think it was just a team effort, and I think it probably helped get some momentum on our side, but I wouldn't have got those threes without some of my teammates. So it was a game changer at one point.
Additional questions? On the left, you get a microphone right there.
Kevin Foote, Lafayette Advertiser. Simone, you just seemed, they struggled to get you the ball in the first half, but you seemed real active. Were you just extra focused for this game? You made some reverse layups, just seemed really active today. Just talk about your play in the game.
I just know somebody had to step up because we came out sluggish, and I just decided that had to be me, and I just went hard the whole game.
Additional questions?
What was the struggle against them? Were they doing things just very differently than y'all had prepared? I mean, y'all just seemed like Coach said, real sluggish, kind of confused.
It was just on us. We came out. I guess we were kind of tired. I don't know. It was a late game, but we shook back the second half and did what we had to do.
Hold on for the microphone. Go ahead. We're going to go to the back now.
Molly Ferguson, KTC. Silk, not that you guys need to be fired up more for a rematch with Little Rock, but does this game and this finish, does that roll on into that, and how big does this become?
Yeah, for sure. I hope our finish rolls on, and we start off the game against Little Rock. I mean, it's almost like a rival without really being considered a rival, I guess. We play very similar defensive-wise, and I think it's just of who wants it more. We've been working our butts off for this day, and we know we can get it. So we're ready for Arkansas Little Rock.
Additional questions for the student athletes? One more up here.
Simone, especially early in that second half, I think you had 8 of the team's 12 points in the third quarter. Was there anything in particular that you saw that was kind of a weakness you were able to exploit there?
They really just kept playing behind at certain times, and I just took advantage of that, and it was easy for me to score.
Okay, thank you very much for the student athletes. You guys can head back to the locker room now, and we'll open it up to questions for the coach.
What was different about what they lost their big girl, and I would think a lot of y'all preparation was on that. So did that, in a way, kind of mess y'all up as well as I'm sure it did?
Yeah, it definitely did, because she's kind of a space eater. Rebecca's kind of like covers a lot of space, and she likes to drive the post player, who is guarding her high, so she can go, do a lot of high-low stuff. So we've worked all year on it, what we call side front instead of front in the post. So, and when we found out she wasn't playing, in our scout with the other post players, we didn't need to do that. We needed to front, but we had a hard time. We actually were, even not even side fronting them at times. We were just kind of playing behind. I couldn't figure out why, but it threw our game off. And then the guard play, I thought their guard play the first half did a pretty good job of handling the ball and not turning it over. And when they play bigs, we have a more of a chance to press a little bit more and get them to turn it over. And I think they ended up with 15 turnovers, which last time we played them, I think they had close to 30. So it just was different. It was but I thought they did a good job of game planning. I know they had to make some changes right quick and all that, and I thought the coach did a great job of changing up some things, and it hurt us. It hurt us defensively, and it hurt us offensively. So, and I think we got frustrated. To me, it looked like we were frustrated pretty much all the game. We couldn't get Kiki going, and we stood around a lot. We didn't move the ball, and we tried running every offense we had in the book. I think we pulled some out of an old book, but it's just. Credit to them. I thought they played really good defense, and they confused us a little bit. And then at the end of the game, it comes down to a little bit of chaos. It's kind of what we play, a little bit of defense. You get chaotic, and the ball gets out. And Kiki does such a great job of getting turnovers and creating scores, and it's kind of what happened. So we were lucky that we were able to get that done.
We're back to Luke here in the front.
Coach, Silk didn't want to say it, but how important were her 2 3-pointers there to get you all going in the fourth quarter?
Well, we were struggling scoring, and that's why we were trying to get her in and out. I told Silk that about 3 months or 2 months ago. She was wondering why she wasn't playing, and I said, well, my game plan is like when you're going to be at 100%, we're going to play you. And if it's in the tournament to hit a couple of threes to win some games, this is. And so I can't wait to talk to her after this and. Kind of say, hey, we said it, always be ready. So it's good for her to be ready and to kind of start playing. She hadn't played a lot of minutes this year because of her knee and stuff, and we've been kind of holding her back. But we had an injury to Taylor Washington yesterday in practice, and she had been playing most of the minutes. So, we had to make some adjustments, and I thought Silk did a good job.
Question in the back, if we can get a microphone.
With Little Rock, you don't have to hype the girls up, but just how do you make sure they don't get too worked up about it and just stay ready for it?
Yeah, I don't think we can ever get too worked. We need to be worked up, especially the kind of basketball we play. And I mean, Little Rock plays the same way, and I'm sure Joe's doing the same thing. We need to play with a lot more energy than we did today, 40 minutes, and hopefully we can regroup tomorrow and get a little bit of practice in and talk about it, because it's really about, effort and what you put into it, and we all have words on our team. My word is faith. I have faith in these kids that they're going to get it done. I just didn't think it was going to take them that long tonight. And Simone makes a great point. We don't play night games. We never get an opportunity to play night games. So it was a long day for me. Just about imagine the kids, because we usually play 2 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And so it was a little bit tougher. I think that maybe that was, they're usually in bed by now, so it's, no excuses. I think that's why we were kind of sluggish. So I think we have a 2 o'clock game, if I'm not mistaken, on Friday. So that's going to be great. We like those early games and see what we can do. But, I hope they are hyped up. I know I'm going to be. I'm going to try to I try to settle down. But if they can be as hyped up as the coaching staff, we'll be in good shape.
Any further questions? One more here. Hold on for the mic.
Coach, Kiki struggled offensively the whole game, but those last couple of minutes, she made a couple of really big steals to kind of help change that momentum. So for her to not get it going offensively, but to still keep her head in the game late and make the plays to change the game.
Yeah, I think she, at the beginning of the game, she was just kind of going through the motions and all that, frustrated and all that. But that's Kiki's MO. She's the kind of kid, when her back's against the wall, she kind of steps up, As bad a game as she had, I think she still had 15 points, If she would have really played, she'd have, she can score 25 and 30 any night. But, it's just part of it. And, other kids had to do some other things. Simone stepped up for her. And, we did some other things to try to, it wasn't pretty, but, I told them that it's not about getting better right now. We don't need to get better, We need to win games. All season, that's all I talk about. We got to get better. We got to get better every game. No, it's not about getting better. It's about winning games. So hopefully we can, as they say, survive and advance. Come on, let's just keep going. It's kind of, we're made of a scrappy team that just goes hard and has fun playing basketball.
This time we're joined by the representatives from UT Arlington. We have head coach Krista Gerlich, as well as number 24, Amara Wainwright. Coach Gerlich, if you could start off by making a brief opening statement.
What a game. I thought that was a great ball game. Could not be more proud of a group of girls than I am right now of my players. I thought that they've really came out and just gave it all they had. Hats off to Lafayette. I thought Lafayette, when it was time to really turn it on, they absolutely did what they do best, and they did a really nice job of turning us over late and playing with some urgency and being aggressive. And I'm just so proud of our kids. I mean, we've had a lot of adversity this entire year, but the last 8 hours have been excruciating, and I'm just really proud of how hard they played, and I thought they represented UTA in the very best way possible.
This time we'll open it for questions for Amara Wainwright. Again, wait for the microphone, please. Kevin on the left.
Amara, just talk about your second half. I think you had 1 point at the half, and then you just kind of caught fire in the third quarter. Was it something you saw in their defense, or what was the difference there?
It was just Coach asked me as a senior. She actually called all of us out to step up, and she's been talking about it pretty much for the whole season, but lately, as of late, about senior urgency and, just playing hard. And we couldn't have Beck with us, so we were trying to really play hard for her and do the best that we could in her absence. So I think that just motivated me even more.
A question here on the right side from Luke.
Amara, you were especially deadly from deep and knocked down a couple 3-pointers. How important do you think that was when you guys were taking the lead and storming back to take the lead in that second half?
I think it was important. I think every play we made in that stretch was important. I don't think one was, more important than the other. Everything counts, but I have to attribute my teammates and coaches because I was missing in the first half, and they still had confidence and they still believed in me and still, they still pushed me to believe in myself, and that helped me to knock down those couple of shots. So I couldn't do it without them.
Additional questions? Thank you very much, Amara. You can go back to the locker room now.
Thank you.
We'll open it for questions for Coach Gerlich at this time.
Coach, you mentioned 8 hours. Is that the time frame that y'all knew about Rebecca, or
Yes. During pregame, we got some upsetting news, and so it kind of happened at that point. We were all hands on deck, and everybody was ready to go. Everybody's in really good spirits, and we kind of just got the carpet pulled out from under us a little bit.
It's amazing how y'all responded. I mean, y'all played great for all but about 2 minutes.
Yeah, I really am proud of them. And really, even particularly, the first 3 possessions of the game, I was like, oh, geez, this might not be pretty. But these girls, we preach all the time that it's bigger than the game. What we're trying to do at UTA is way bigger than the game. And I thought they really showed that and displayed that tonight, that it's about our family and our team and the sisterhood that they build amongst one another. And I just thought that they really displayed just everything that you want sports to represent.
Question from here in the front and the right.
Coach, you said in the end it came down to them doing what they did best. You guys were able to really avoid turning the ball over the whole game up until that last stretch. What did they do anything differently in that last stretch?
I think they turned up the physicalness. I think they, I think they got a hold of, I think it got really physical, and the ball got loose. I think that they panicked us a little bit. But that's what they do well. I mean, they're really aggressive, and they're really, we worked really hard on breaking the press and not letting that bother us, and I thought we did it really well for a long time. I think our lack of depth showed because we had kids playing, 40, 39 minutes a game, and it's just hard for them to, they were really giving it, they were spent. I could really tell that they were spent. So it's just a matter of experience and of being in game situations like that and games that of this importance. We're a young program in that part and trying to get to where we can play for championships. And I think, Lafayette had a great run last year, and they've got some experienced senior guards that just kind of took over.
Any additional questions? Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.